So I'm facing 15 years in prison, and I've been on house arrest for a year and a half. My life is over. I have been broken by life. No amount of money, no amount of women, no amount of person, places, or things, no titles from the SEALs, Marines, Blackwater, nothing. Zero can save me. Traveled the world, partied with Russian oligarchs, done it all, and none of it can save me when the rubber met the road. No amount of willpower from Nietzsche, that which doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Shut up. This is reality, man. Nothing can save me. I'm at the deepest, darkest pit of my life because I'm going to prison for 15 years. And everything that I've ever tried to do or accomplish or didn't accomplish, rights and wrongs, didn't matter. All that mattered was I was going to prison in connection to John McAfee for being his CEO, his bodyguard first. All right? I'm going away forever. Because when you're 40 years old, 15 years, it's over. And I paid $50,000 to my lawyer to tell me all this. No help whatsoever from him, no help from no one, man. But all of a sudden, I get a call to go to Operation Restore Warrior someplace. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'll go. It's for veterans? Shoot, yeah. Like any excuse, any reason to get off house arrest. But I don't think the Texas judge is going to let me, but it's the same Texas judge as the one that didn't send me up to upstate New York. He's the one that put me on house arrest instead of keeping me in prison pre-trial, okay? So I ain't got nothing to live for. So why not get off house arrest for 3 days? And so I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Judge lets me go. He goes, send that boy over to Operation Restore Warrior. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, God bless this Texas judge for not sending me to the electric chair. You know what I'm saying? So I go to Operation Restore Warrior. I have no idea what I'm getting into or what's about to happen in my life. The gentleman across the table, his name is Paul Lavelle, the owner, he tells me, Jimmy, are you ready for Jesus to meet you? Like 100%? And I'm like, yo. First of all, don't ever tell me 100%. Second of all, that's ridiculous. I was mocking them. I was saying that God, your God, this Jesus thing, it's over for my life, man. Okay? I know about Jesus. I believe in God, but I don't think he's happy with me, and it's over for my life. I don't think you understand what I've done in my life. I don't think you understand where I've been. I can't relate to anybody, man. He says, well, Jimmy, do you believe that Jesus died on the cross and rose again on the third day? I said, man, I don't want to hear that garbage, man. So I'm acting all tough on the outside, but when you're as low as I was and as broken as I am at that point, then you're desperate for anything to happen in your life. And so I walk outside. I'm acting tough on the outside, but I'm screaming from the inside for help. Walk outside, walk down this little dirt path with my big old ankle bracelet on. They're tracking me all the time, you know what I mean? I had to sign a $5 million promissory bond, you know? They're tracking me hard. I'm walking down this little dirt road, not far from the building, and I cried out to Jesus. I said, if you're real in my life, then show up while I'm here. Show up here. Like these guys, these crazy guys are telling me, are you ready to see Jesus? Are you ready to hear from Jesus? Are you kidding me right now? Are you crazy? I've been to church. It didn't work for me. I baptized myself in a hot tub after a 3-day coke binge in Medellin, Colombia. I got to tell you the R-rated version so you understand the depths of despair I'm in right now. I said, show up in my life, Jesus. Show up if you're real. And I will tell everybody I meet, one person or a million, the rest of my life. Show up. Ain't nothing happened when I said that. Nothing. But the next day, something was about to radically change in my life. I was sitting there waiting to get prayed for by these two guys. Keep in mind, all they have is your first name. They do that on purpose. And I didn't know this at the time, but they were praying for me for a couple weeks before I got there. Praying for this guy. Praying for this broken piece of you-know-what garbage left to the side to rot in prison. all right? And they were praying for this guy. And every person that went before me, I was the last to go into this little room with these two guys. Every person went in there with this cocky attitude. Like, whatever, this ain't gonna work. Every single guy that came out is in shambles. Snot coming down. Looked like they just got tear gassed. The blood stopped at tear gas. Crying all over the place. And as they're walking out, I'm like, yo, bro. What happened to you? What's going on? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm trying to figure out what's happening. And then they called my name. They said, Jimmy, proceed in here. And I'm like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't like this. Every single dude that goes in there seems like he's fine. They come out in shambles. What's happening in that room with these two dudes? So I go in there. They said, sit down. I sit down. I feel real uncomfortable because of what I seen. And they say, Jimmy, all we want to know is your story. And I said, well, you kind of remind me of two law enforcement agents in an interview. I really don't like talking like that. You know what I'm saying? They're like, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. We just want to hear your story. I start going into my story, all right? It's kind of boring. I'm tired of this stuff. You know, you just get tired of like talking about your stuff. And then all of a sudden, I keep going and the guy across from me says, Jimmy, stop right there. And I stopped. I said, what? He said, you skipped over a part of your story. And I said, no, I didn't. He says, no. He says, you skipped over a part of your story, brother. And I said, it's a dark time in my life, you know. I skipped over a dark time in my life. It doesn't matter. But it was one of the most important dark times in my life. You know that time in your life where you don't tell nobody or anything or anyone ever. They said, let's talk about that. I said, no, it's good. And the guy leaned in and said, Jimmy, was that at the such and such house? We nicknamed this house. I had a nickname for this house. And he told me the nickname, not the real name, the nickname. And I looked at him with crazy eyes and I said, hey, bro, I said, I'm a fragile man. And fragile men do crazy things. And I'm not the dude to mess around with. I ain't the dude to mess around with, man. They said, Jimmy, calm down. This is what we do here. Later on, they said, Jimmy, we were scared you were going to do something crazy. All right. I was a fragile man, you see. And I said, go ahead. I said, if you know so much about my own life, like some weird psychic thing, then go ahead and tell me some more. I'm here. Tell me. And they're like, okay. Well, as you come up to this house, there's a screen door. And you walk in and there's a jacuzzi to the right, and then you walk up these stairs, and then you walk inside this room, and there's an armory where you put guns, and a big metal door, and then a secret door, and then a cherry wood door that goes over that secret door. And I said, all right, that's a dang good guess, man. That's a real good guess. Tell me more. If you know so much, then tell me more. And I'm not going to prompt you. I'm not going to say yes. I'm just going to say, tell me more. They said, okay. And he looks at the other guy, and the other guy looks at him and nods like, go ahead, bro. Unleash the freaking artillery on this guy. And so I said, tell me more. He goes, well, you go up a set of stairs, and there's an office room. And then you go up another set of stairs. There's an elevator. It's hidden underneath another door. There's an elevator in a house. Nobody guesses this type of stuff, but it was the truth. There's a multi-million-dollar house with an elevator behind a hidden door with an armory behind a hidden door. I said, okay, tell me more if you know so much about me. And they said, well, you walk up, and each and every single room on the third deck is named a certain name from an island. Tahiti, Thailand, Cambodia, all this stuff with a Latin long above the door. I said, okay, tell me more. They go up to the third deck, fourth deck. They said, there's a steering wheel up there, like a big ship mast or something like that. And I said, that's right. I said, that's right. Tell me more if you know so much about my life. They said, well, it overlooks the sound, and there's boats that come in and out. And that's exactly what we called it, a sound. And now I'm just angry inside. Can you imagine if somebody started telling you every detail of your life in detail? You start getting angry. You don't get all happy and paying money like a fortune teller. No, they can just guess your name. This was something different. I said, how do you know this stuff? And they said, this is the power of Jesus in here. The Holy Spirit is telling you this right now. And I'm almost knee to knee with them. And I said, all right, tell me more. Now, this is the last time I say this because of what's about to happen. They say, Jimmy, there was a path that you used to walk down behind the house alone. And when they said that, I broke down in absolute shambles, fell back to my seat, and snot started pouring out like everybody else, because they just had identified a time in my life. You better listen, a time of my life that nobody else knew about in my entire life. The darkest, loneliest time of my life, when I was walking down a path that no one else really knew about. It was hidden way in the back of the property. And I would walk down that path alone, crying out for Jesus, crying out for something in my life, something more, to be filled with something. And I didn't receive nothing on that path. But Jesus had to wait until I was in the right place, wrangled in by the law, facing 15 years in prison. Now he had me sitting down so he could finally tell me the truth about my life. Jesus was literally walking with me down this dark path while I thought I was all alone. And these two guys out of nowhere at Operation Restore Warrior are able to somehow, through the power of God, replay my entire life in the darkest time of my life. And all that I could do is shut my mouth. I couldn't say one more word. I just fell back and cried and cried and cried, because I knew that there was something else in this life other than all this BS, social media, fame, fortune, money, all this going back and forth. I knew there was something greater than that, but I never could grasp it. And I knew that this was the answer, that Jesus had shown up and told me that I've been watching you. I've been in every dark place that you've been. I've been down every single dark path that you've been in your life. And that's exactly what he's telling you right now. I was crushed from that moment on, but in the best way possible. When I stood up, it was like I released 2 sea bags of bricks and rocks that were weighing me down my whole life. And they came crashing down. Because when you've been carrying a weight for so long, you don't even realize who you are anymore. You don't even realize you've been carrying around 2 sea bags of weights. And when I got up, I felt like the eagle flying over the Grand Canyon. Free as an eagle flying over the Grand Canyon. I came out of there. They were like, Jimmy, who is it? Welcome, brother, to the world. Welcome to your new life. I was completely set free and redeemed, but I was still facing 15 years in prison. What was I going to do? What was I going to do? Well, as I was leaving Operation Restore Warrior on the 3rd day, I still had my ankle bracelet on. All right. That was great and all what they told me, and I was free as a bird, but I was still going to prison. But as I was walking out, one of the guys pulled me to the side, those 2 guys, and they said, we saw a chessboard in your life, Jimmy. And we saw these chess pieces being moved around. And all I can say to you is checkmate, Jimmy. Checkmate. I said, what does checkmate mean? And they're like, Jimmy, haven't you ever played chess? It means your case is going to be dismissed. You won. And I said, that's great and all, but let's not get too crazy here. Them retelling me my past in the darkest time was crazy, but let's not get too crazy here. Can God really do this? Can Jesus really set you free physically from chains and spiritually? I don't know, but we're about to find out. Checkmate. Checkmate. I go home, and not too long after I go home on house arrest, I get a call from my lawyer. The same guy that said I had a 1 in 1,000 chance of ever being a free man again, and he was dead serious, this time says, Jimmy, checkmate. And I said, checkmate? I said, what the heck does that mean? He says, Jimmy, haven't you ever heard what checkmate means? He goes, forget all that. It means your case is getting dismissed. I literally could not speak again, because checkmate is exactly what they told me at Operation Restore Warrior. Was it Operation Restore Warrior? It was a wonderful place, but it was the power of Yahweh, Jesus, moving and manipulating pieces in my life and saying, checkmate, it's over, Jimmy. And my life was set free from all prison. Case dismissed. And that's exactly what he wants to do for you today. He wants to pardon your life. He wants to put a stamp of approval on you, the one that you've been waiting for. He's been in every single dark corner, and he is telling you today, checkmate, my friend, checkmate. All my love. See you.